Hello, hello, hello. Salutations. Gotta check audio balances, of course. This is going to be another one of those videos where we kind of just mess around with my actual Canva page instead of the presenter thing, because the presenter, I want to move things around. I need to move things around for this, and I can't do that with otherwise. There is something that we might be checking out for next time. We might be doing something else next time. We might be interacting with a different program next time. We'll see. I don't know when at least next time, as in the next time I do a review or TBR stream. I might do TBR streams because more recently quarterly TBR, because I had really a lot of fun picking out books to match. It was difficult, which was annoying, but I had fun trying to find things to match the prompts, and I want to do that more, if for no reason than just problem solving. It's fun for me, but also because I might want to start. I don't know, we had fun, so we're gonna try to do that. We're gonna go with this for the audio balance. Salutations, friends. Salutations, friends, and welcome to, I guess I can say it's the first ever BookOut, Cookout, Readathon. I don't expect anyone else to do this. I expect it fully to just be me on my lonesome having a good old time, and that's fine. That is totally fine for me. But I don't mind playing by myself. But yeah, this is just we don't have a notification ringtone that's copywritten music. No way, I would never. Not at all. No, not me. LOL. The reason I wanted to do this was because for the past few years, since I started doing bookish stuff on my YouTube channel, I have participated in what is it? Blackathon? But the problem is I never actually figured out how you're supposed to submit your page reads or whatever to them, and so heavy quotes on the word participate there. Heavy quotes. They didn't know I was there, and that's not their fault, that's my fault, because I never looked up. I'm fidgeting with things. I could just never figure out how you were supposed to submit whatever your page reads are for your team. But I had fun. Like I said, I had fun having prompts to kind of guide my reading, and so I made my own little thing so that way I don't feel like I'm letting anyone down. And I called it the BookOut Cookout because that felt right in my spirit. And so basically I just went to a TBR prompt generator, generated a handful of prompts, and here we are. This is my life now. I have quite a few prompts set up for us to look at, and then one book was just a book that I have full intention of starting. I will say we might have another BookOut Cookout for June, because there are two issues I came across when making this TBR. One is that, oh my god, is it hard to find prompts specifically looking for Black authors. I'll express, and we'll see some of those that I struggled with. Some of them were very hard to find things for. Some of them were very hard to find things for within the books that I own. And I've said in another stream, I really want to prioritize things that I own, books that I own this coming year. And it was very hard to find books that I own. And then on top of that, it was very hard to find books that I own, books that have queer authors that fit in these prompts. And so June, I think I want to do another BookOut Cookout, so that way I can do it without prompts. Hold on, there's a cat tantruming. I hear you. Sorry, my daughter's being fussy. I want to do another BookOut. Say hi. Say I spoiled. I want to do another BookOut Cookout in June. So that way I can, without prompts, I'll just pick a bunch of black queer authors. Or black authors that have written queer books, because we love people in the closets too. Stuff like that. So, and I also, because I'm still in the middle of El Príncipe de Sol, and so I'm not reading exclusively black books this year, and that makes me sad. And then I also have an arc that I'm probably gonna have to have another arc in June by a white woman, but it's for the Catastrophe Incoming series, so I want to participate. I love the book, but this is a white woman, so we're not reading exclusively black, so I feel the need to have another session of black reading just to balance it out. But yeah, let's get into the actual TBR that I have set for this month. And to be clear, I'm not going to read all of these books in this month, not even close. I might read 2. I might read 2, maybe 3 if I'm lucky. It's not gonna happen. I'm a slow reader. But we had fun. We had fun. Again, this is like a problem-solving thing. We had fun. Okay, you didn't see that. You didn't see anything. So, BookOut Cookout TBR. The first prompt was a book that has an adaptation. This was probably one of the most annoyingly hard ones, because like I kept getting shit like The Color Purple. Like, I felt like all of the books by black authors that have an adaptation are books about either slavery or civil rights, stuff like that, and I knew I wasn't gonna read The Color Purple or anything like that. We ended up choosing The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin. I know nothing about this adaptation. I know at some point I need to read something by N.K. Jemisin, but this is one of the lowest priority books on this TBR. Again, we're not gonna get to most of these books, but we're not hopeful for this guy. Low star prediction. I chose Caught Up in the Rhythm, mostly because I haven't read any urban romance before, and I feel like it's going to be one of those things where I'm going to be very particular about it until I like find the book that's for me, that helps me it's very similar to how I was with regular, like, just standard romance. It's like, I used to think that I didn't like romance, but really I didn't like mass market white romance. That I could not get into. But as I started finding romance that was in the genre that like better suited me, I started to open up to romance more. I feel like that's going to be the problem I'm going to have with urban romance, is that I'm going to need to find like the one, and from that one like branch off from like things that are similar to in that one and stuff like that before I'm able to like really feel confident in picking an urban romance. And so at the moment I'm not confident in my picks for any form of urban romance, but I due to all these fucking black like free book giveaway things, I have so much urban romance, and I should start reading them. I should start trying. I should start giving it a try. Ugly Cover is the next prompt, and let's be clear, these aren't objective, of course, naturally, but especially I think the first one is supremely, like, the first one is Little Book of Quickies, Unfulfilled Desires. I'm actually in the middle of this book right now, and it's not that it's like a bad cover. I just don't like it. I simply just don't like it. I don't enjoy this cover. I wouldn't put this cover on a wall. But it's, again, I'm sure there are people who love the artistic choice of this cover. It's just not me. I am in the middle of this book now. I'm almost done with it. And it's been a rocky road. I think if we get lucky, we'll end up on a 3-star, but I'm not. It was rough. It was, where's the camera? It was like rough, and then it got really good, and then it took like a dive. Yeah, the main reason is that there's a very fine line when discussing femininity between, like, there's a fine line that defines like okay but still like rooted in patriarchy discussions of femininity, and then like straight white supremacist like design of femininity, and detailing like daintiness as the perfect example of femininity is so far on that side. I generally hate discussions of femininity and the topic of femininity. I really do. But that icked me out so much, and I feel like it's been going downhill since then. I've liked the book less and less since that moment. So we aren't super hopeful for it, but we are almost done. The other ugly cover. It is Black Love Diary. Now, to be clear, there's nothing wrong with this person. Very attractive person. But for a book cover, this is a selfie. This is a selfie. It's hard to read the text of the cover. It's not a good book cover. I don't think it's a good book cover. Again, it's a fine selfie, but like as a book cover, I think that, like, this sticks out in my like ebook library every time I see it. It sticks out like a sore thumb, and I do not. Especially, I think it's also, I also in general don't like real people covers, and so nothing is helping the situation here. Again, this is also probably like bottom of my TBR. Like, even if I was able to read like 10 books this month, this would be not something I'm super concerned with. Next row. Books by multiple authors. I kind of cheated on this one. I think it's this first one here. No, it's not. This one actually is by 2 authors. I don't think I'm gonna end up getting to this one. Stamped by Jason Reynolds, who I love Jason Reynolds, and I would love to read a lot more by Jason Reynolds. I don't think I'm gonna get to this book in particular though. At least not now. I do have so much more. Is this fiction? I don't know. I do have a lot more books on topics like racism, classism, imperialism, stuff like that I am just significantly more excited to read. And so this is not something I'm particularly concerned about for the month. This one I cheated on. I really want to read Bingo Love. I just really want to read Bingo Love. And there are like multiple people credited, and so we're gonna take that. Because I really want to read Bingo Love. Different Continent. This one's probably we're not getting to this. Place of Cool Waters. We're probably not getting to this one. I need to get to it eventually. It's on, I think it's the last book. No, I have 2 books. It's this and something else on my NetGalley. And I need to get to this at some point, but it's probably not going to be now. Moving on, an odd number of pages. This is also what I'm extremely excited to get to read. It is I Do Exist. This is a poetry collection, and because at the beginning of last year, I read a poetry collection by Rachel Wiley, and that has made me crave poetry, Jason Reynolds' work, craving poetry, and so I really want to get to this as well this year. Book in a series, Siren's Call by Jessica Cage. Again, I've had this book and I think one, maybe two other books by her for a hot minute. Like, I bought an entire like Black fantasy bundle set because I saw it from her. I need to read one of her books at some point. Like, she's a very successful indie author. I should read her books. I really need to. I really just need to fucking do it. I'm an embarrassment is the problem. When it comes to reading, when it comes to reading speed, I am an embarrassment, and I apologize. I apologize deeply. Debut. These are also embarrassing. One of them is. Oh, there are two things. Glitter and Kindling is not embarrassing. I bought this because someone was sharing just Black fantasy indies. I ended up purchasing this one. It was on sale at the time. Want to read this one. Very excited. I would like to get to it. Don't know if I will. This one's embarrassing. Grim Reaper's Lawyer. I've had this for a while. I've had this for a very long time. I need to read this. I tried to buy it directly from the author. I need to read this book. I just need to read it. I think I've heard good things about it too, but I can't remember. It's either I heard good things about it, or I was like, or I told someone else good things about what I'd heard that had made me want to read the book. I'm goofy as hell, aren't I? Something like that. It was something like that. But those are the two debuts that I want to read. Published in the last year. This is embarrassing. Take a Hike is an arc I have. Need to read that. So this is actually very, very high on my list. We can go back over and talk about like what the planned kind of order is. Published before the 1900s. This one was one of the hardest to find. And I kind of cheated on it just because, again, it's really difficult to. I don't know if I like was looking at the wrong keywords, and so I just wasn't getting recommendations or what was going on, but it was really hard for me to try and find a book, Black authors before the 1900s. And I don't think it was just like because like some of the authors in here I'm sure they have their own standalone works, but it just was not recommending me. Because what I've got here is the African American Poetry Anthology from 1773 to 1927. We're going to count it. Most of that time is before the 1900s. It's fine. But like I was saying, it's an anthology, so there's a lot of different authors in here. I like it, and I'm sure a lot of the writers in here have their own standalone works. It just, for the life of me, was not recommending them on their own. It was not recommending me their like standalone collection of work. And so this is another one I'm very, very, very excited to read. I don't know if I'll finish it this month, but I really would like to start it. And then this one, For My Spirit, this is just the one that I want to read. This one is going to make me feel good to start. And that is Decolonizing Therapy. This is probably going to be the best book I read all year. I am so incredibly, incredibly excited about it. I've never had seen clips from a book that was more validating to everything I've ever tried to say about mental health than the things Dr. Jen has posted and shared of this book. I'm so incredibly excited to read it, and I don't think I'm going to end up reading it. I'm probably not going to read it all as like one thing. And I would love to get a physical copy too, just to have and hold. But what I'm probably going to end up doing is reading it slowly over time, so that way I can take time to process and work with the concepts in the book. Yeah. And so what I would like to do is maybe do a quarterly update on this book, and so that way I'm not rushing through it, but I'm still talking about things as they are fresh. So let's look back at the entire TBR we've got here. Not a ton of books. If we're talking about order of what I'm going to read, obviously I am already in the middle of The Little Book of Quickies. I Do Exist is probably going to be soon. I might start in the middle of, because I think what I'm going to start next is Take a Hike. I think I'm starting Take a Hike next. And then after that, after that, in the middle of that, I'll be working on I Do Exist and Bingo Love. I of course want to, like, in the background start decolonizing therapy. I think I'm going to start this after I get through I Do Exist or Bingo Love, so that way I can take up the place of one of those non-novels. And those are probably the only ones I'm going to actually get through. Talking about, because like I said, I've wanted to prioritize books that I already own. I think I do not own this. I do not own the 5th season. I do not own Stamped. I do not own Bingo Love. Bingo Love I checked out from the library, and I got the African American poetry collection for this. Everything else I already owned, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 out of 14. So that is the vast majority of the books. We are doing the thing of prioritizing books we own. We're doing it. We're being successful. We're following our dreams. But yeah, that is my BookOut Cookout TBR. I'm very excited to read these books, especially like the ones that I am like about to jump into, and the ones we're gonna finish the one that I'm already in the middle of, and we'll see how that goes. I'm again not super hopeful, but we'll eventually be done with it, and that's that. I do think I would read another book by this author, though. Not in this series, but I would read something else by this author. And I do, like I said, I have from those giveaways, I have more by this author, so we will be reading more. But that is basically it for now. I plan on doing some readathon reading sprints on this channel over the course of the month, so that's exciting. Look out for those. Don't know when it's gonna be, but you know, we'll try. And if you're looking for books to read Black History Month, give me 38 seconds and I can give you options. Literally didn't even think of this until now. Isn't that impressive of me? Aren't I a great job at marketing? I have books and I'm a Black author, and so you can read my books for Black History Month and it'll work out. We have my YA spy series, The Queen of Thieves. Oh my god. The Queen of Thieves, A New Throne. That's that. And then we also have, this isn't the real cover for it, but this is Amani and Aaliyah's Fashion Bible. That book you can pre-order now. But it comes out the 14th. So this is, not only is it a like Black book, but it's also a romance to read in February. Look at that. I'm so sorry. That is all from me. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, Valedictions friends.